Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, Mr. Mayor, we have a homeless encampment 12 blocks long on Manhattan's west side, not far from the Intrepid Museum. People come from all over the world to see the floating museum, the Intrepid, and you're making sure that they get to see up close the drugs, the prostitution, the homeless. What a way to go, Mr. Mayor. The mayor also changing his tune on those the ethnic community map. Now, all of a sudden that he's been caught red-handed, busted, he's going to add Little Italy and some others, declaring it's a work in progress. Also, that former college basketball standout killed in a New York City tournament shooting, according to the NYPD. So let's start. Let's start with this. We're going to start with your calls in just 1 second. 800-848-9222. President Trump on the situation in Iran. I don't know, folks. It doesn't seem to be getting any better.
And most of their equipment is gone. Their anti-aircraft stuff is gone. We hit them very hard last night. Every time they send a drone, we hit them very hard. But we had a deal. What nobody knows, we had a deal. It was a done deal. And then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people, and so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're gonna keep the Strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait. And we should be reimbursed for that. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side, and we can't be expected to do that for nothing, unlike we had for many years.
Bet on Trump. Bet on Trump, not on these nut jobs in Iran. Folks, I say this all the time. If this problem were easy, a Democrat president would have solved it. But bet your bottom dollar on this. Trump is going to get to the bottom of this situation, and it will be solved. Remember my prediction. So what do we have in New York City, America? What do we have? We have Mayor Hip Hop. We have Mayor Failure at Rap. And now he gets a promotion and becomes the mayor of New York City, referring to the socialist Mamdani. Notices everything that's happening in the world of hip-hop. Hey, Mr. Mayor, why don't you notice the 12-block encampment of homeless people near the Intrepid Museum? Why don't you notice that? Why don't you notice women selling their bodies right outside the Intrepid Museum? 12 blocks of homeless. But what does this mayor do? He's Mayor Hip Hop. He's more infatuated with Jay-Z. Jay-Z is not thinking about you, Mamdani. Jay-Z nor Beyonce, they don't care about you. I know in your delusional mind, you think you're moving your way up to get close to Jay-Z. I don't think so. So Jay-Z, I didn't even notice, folks. Jay-Z was in the Bronx, my home borough, Yankee Stadium. I believe he did 3 nights, brought along Beyonce, Nas performing, right? Sold out Yankee Stadium, 3 nights. But last night, a problem. Apparently, some folks bum rushed the stadium, and because of that, you got to shut it down. And that's exactly what happened. The concert was delayed hours. And what does Mayor Hip Hop talk about today? He's not talking about taxes. He's not talking about the billions that are leaving New York because of his crazy policies. Mayor Hip Hop is talking about Jay-Z and Yankee Stadium.
I was not there this weekend, though I know that it was a moment that many New Yorkers are going to hold dear for years. And last night is something that we're going to follow up on because I know that there were many New Yorkers who were delayed after there was a breach of security by those that didn't have tickets, and then it resulted in a multiple-hour delay for many others. So that's something we'll follow up on. The first album I was ever given was a clean version of The Blueprint, which is unfortunate. I learned about the importance of freedom of expression. So, I mean, you know, H to the Izzo, Girls, 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 those, I just remember that in the Jog-Proof Walkman, and then learning that there was actually an explicit version as well that I used to memorize the words to.
I'm serious. You guys better get a bag because I'm about to barf. The mayor of New York City, the billions of dollars that he's controlling, and he wants to impress us by naming some Jay-Z songs. Oh, for the young people, the mayor knows Jay-Z's songs. Yes, but what about he can't pay the bills because he's running away all the people that are paying the taxes? Mayor Hip Hop, Mamdani, you have got to be kidding me. The issues that we have, the fact that you insulted not one group, Italians, Jews, Irish, I could go on, and you want to talk about Jay-Z. I'm sure you were asked about Jay-Z, but you want to recite the songs and the albums from Jay-Z. You have got to be kidding me, folks. You cannot make this up. And so after Mamdani was cold busted with his ethnic communities map, first he threw it into the lap of Eric Adams. That didn't work. Now he says, wait a minute. An additional map is coming to include other communities.
That includes adding Little Italy to the map.
Can you please address the controversy that has developed over the city's immigrant enclaves list? Do you believe that there are neighborhoods that were left off that list? And if the city plans to add more, which other neighborhoods do you think should be added?
Yeah. So this map was initially created by the prior administration in 2023, and when we inherited it, we added a few additional neighborhoods. It's clearly not an exhaustive list of the more than 200 ethnic communities that call our city home, and we're going to be making additional changes in the future to reflect that, and that includes adding Little Italy to the map.
Oh, isn't that nice? Now that the mayor's been busted, he wants to add Little Italy to the map. Isn't that so nice? And he can tell us Jay-Z's songs. Isn't that beautiful? That's why we elected him mayor, right? You cannot make this stuff up, folks. So, Manhattan's West Side. I've never understood. If you want to help the homeless, don't tolerate them being on the streets, okay? You can't help them by tolerating walking past them or giving them money where they're going to go buy drugs. They need help. The problem never seems to get better. So now, when you come to New York, all the sailors come in, all the boats and so on. Hey, the prostitution will be right there, right? Come get a nice case of a sexually transmitted disease, right? You can do the prostitution thing. You can do the drug thing right off the ship. Because there's now a 12-block encampment that's growing. And this is what happens when you tolerate this. Hey, New York, meet San Francisco. Hey, New York, meet LA. This is what you're about to look like. This is what New York is going to look like under this mayor. It makes absolutely no sense. The Republican candidate for governor, Bruce Blakeman, in an interview with the owner of this network, John Catsimatidis, blasting what's going on, calling Manhattan a disaster, comparing the New York City homeless camp to a third world country. Hey, you fit right in, Mamdani. Right? Uganda, right? Cannot make this up. 800-848-9222. I'm going to get to that basketball player killed in Harlem in just a second. But the New York Post spoke to some homeless people outside the Intrepid area, the floating military museum, about this 12-block homeless encampment.
The services like homeless outreach, BRC, it's been a lot of that. They walk around, they bring food to people all the time now. Actually, yeah, it's been a change as far as that. They bring supplies, try to give us shelter and stuff like that.
Are the police interacting with you, or?
They're not interacting with us, but...
So that they're leaving you alone?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I noticed that he sends a lot more outreach workers instead of sending police officers. So now we have, on average daily, about 3 different organizations come just to check on us and to see if we need safe havens, shelters. Well, before, when the police were doing the swipes, the cleanups and the site checks, there were a lot of brushing. There was no real kind of like care there. But when the actual outreach workers do it, it's like a whole different. It's like social work. You feel the impact.
Right, you feel the impact, right, you do. a problem that's been around since I started in journalism in 1986 is even worse in 2026. Right, you feel the impact.